pure chanting, like we just chanted Hare Krishna mantra. So by chanting the holy name of Krishna, you can get the pure love for Krishna. Nowadays, in today's world, the human civilization going through so many problems, so many downfalls, so many problems. There's no end to the problems. So, one of our Acharya, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Maharaj, used to say that under the dispensations of providence, mankind cannot have any rest. As one problem solves, another problem takes place. So by the arrangement of the providence, by the energy of God, Maya, we cannot have any peace in this world. Peace and prosperity comes, how it comes? When people are interested in what? Now, penance, sacrifice, austerity and charity. When people give up these three things, charity, penance and austerity, then there is no upliftment of consciousness for human society. So human society's upliftment of consciousness only can take place when people are interested in austerity, charity and penance. So nowadays people are more or less interested in only what? Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. You see, now there is a war in Ukraine. Somebody wants to become a very big man, so he wants to take over another neighbor country. So this way, people are suffering. And there are many other kinds of suffering. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord, God has come very kindly to this world. He has come out of His own sweet will and He showed us by His own teaching, by His own example, how to approach Krishna and how to achieve the supreme goal, which is love of Krishna. You cannot achieve love of Krishna by any material means. You can only achieve Krishna prem, love of Krishna, only through the pure devotional service to God. Pure devotional service. And pure devotional service begins with hearing and chanting of the glories of Krishna. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was here 500 years ago, he appeared in Navadvip Dham, there is an island called Navadvip, and Navadvip is surrounded by 9 islands. Within the middle island, Lord Chaitanya appeared, which is known as Antardvip. Within Antardvip, there is a place called Mayapur. Within that Mayapur place, Lord Chaitanya appeared. Now, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our previous acharyas, Iskcon has built a very beautiful temple there. It's called Vedic Planetarium, huge, is almost 550 foot high temple. People are coming there from all around the world to see this place. And Iskcon has made a very nice arrangement for people to come there so they can have nice prasadam and they can have a nice staying facilities. So if you ever go to India, if you visit Calcutta, you can go to Mayapur and you can visit this holy place, birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's very, very powerful in this age. There are so many holy tirthas and dham. But Mayapur Dham, according to Rupa Goswami, Mayapur Dham has got the ability to give liberation to the whole world simply by going there, simply by chanting. We know that in every year during the month of March, devotees from all around the world go there and they do Harinam and Parikrama. They do to the 9 islands. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur, one of our acharyas, said simply by doing Parikrama, by circumambulating the 9 islands of Navadvip, the whole world can get peace. So we are trying that. Devotees working hard there to get all the devotees from around the world so they can come and do Parikrama. They can circumambulate the 9 islands and chant Hare Krishna and take nice prasadam. So you say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came actually to teach people how to really love God. Whether in the Christian world or in the Hinduism or even in the Mohammedan, people are going to God for what? People are going to the church, people are going to the temple, people are going to the mosque for certain reasons. Hindus are going to different gods and demigods, asking what? Dhanam dehi, janam dehi, putram dehi, asking different things. The Christians are going to churches, oh God, please give us our daily bread, which is God is already giving you anyway. You don't have to ask for it. Similarly, the Muslims are going to the mosque also. Same prayers. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, we should not ask anything from God. We should only serve Him with our love and devotion. And God in His one effort will take care of us. We don't have to ask. And that type of service is called unalloyed pure devotional service. And God is very pleased with that kind of service. Just like the example is given, like the parents, they take care of their children without any motivation. Out of the love, they are doing it. So we are all children of God. So God will naturally take care of us. We don't have to go and force Him to get something from Him. It's like a business. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us that we should not address God in that mood, rather we should address God in the mood of pure love, pure devotion. And that love was shown by whom? By the Brajavasis of Vrindavan. The gopis of Vrindavan, the Brajavasis, the residents of Vrindavan, they showed the highest love for Krishna because their service was not any adulteration. There was no adulteration, there is no mix, nothing was mixed. They just love Krishna, love God, sake of loving. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the service that the gopis have offered to Krishna is the highest. So that's why he said we should follow the footprints of the gopis of Vrindavan. And in that mood, we should serve Radha and Krishna. So we are very glad and very happy that within a few days we will be celebrating the birthday of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has given us the highest goal of life, which is to achieve love for Krishna, love for God. Everyone has this love within their heart. Everybody, every living entity, every human being has some love in their heart. But that love is covered with what? Lust. Lust. Why? Because that love is not used for the Supreme Person of Godhead. Because we use that love for our own self-gratification, that's why it turns into a lust. But when same lust used for the service of the Lord, it turns into a love. So everybody in the world, they're all talking about peace and love and this and that. Even in the United States, so much talk is going on about peace and prosperity, but there is no peace. Why there is no peace? Because the human society don't know how to get that peace. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, whole world can get peace out of this. Just by simply chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Congregationally, collectively, individually, or congregationally. Everyone can get peace simply by chanting. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was here, every day he would go out with thousands of devotees on the street. In main cities, he would go out and chant Hare Krishna congregationally. So same method we are also following, we are also going out, but because of Corona now a lot of devotees are not going out. But generally devotees are always going out and chanting on the street, distributing books, helping people how to come to this Krishna consciousness, how to take up Krishna consciousness. So this human life that we got, it is a very valuable asset which is given by God to us, if you know how to use that. So don't misuse your human life. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is clearly said that ahara nidra bhayamaitunascha pasubitulla naranam nidraya hiyate nattam bhavayena cha bhavaha dibba chakra hayarajan kutamba bharanena bha. Who's speaking this now? Maharaj This is Sukadeva Goswami speaking to whom? Not to Maharaj Parikshit. The Nidraya hiyate naktam bhavayena cha bhavaha Dibba Chatra Rajan Kutamba Bharanava. Most of the population, 99% population from this planet, even to the heavenly planet, Sargaloka, everybody is busy in taking care of their families. Kutamba Bharanava. Day and night people are working just for a little bit of sense gratification. Day and night people are working. They are not worried about liberation. Mukti Kritatanjali. The mukti which is used in the Shastra for liberation, to get higher goal. But the people are not interested in that. People are just limited only in, dharma, artha, kama. They are not even looking for moksha, especially in Kali Yuga. In the previous days, people are looking for moksha. But nowadays, people are only looking for dharma, artha, kama. That's it. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra congregationally, simply by studying of the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and taking association of pure devotees, in this way you will develop love for Krishna. And you can engage yourself in devotional service, and in this way your human life will be used in the best way. There are so many other religions going on, so many other cults is going on. But they are not actually teaching how to really purely love Krishna, how to directly engage in the service of God. And that is devotional service, and that is Krishna conscious movement is doing that. But very few people are joining it. Generally, it says that good things only people accept only in the last moment. So sometimes people think, oh, I can do devotionals when I get older, when I become 90 years or 60 years, then only I will practice devotional service. Now I have young life, my senses are strong, now I should just go on enjoying. But it doesn't happen. You don't know when you're going to die. That's why Prahlad Maharaj said that we should practice devotional service from the age of 5. And go on throughout life so that at the time of death, you can remember Krishna, you can remember God. And if you remember Krishna at the time of death, then you're sure to get liberation, sure to go back home, back to God. So thank you all. So we are celebrating this Gaur Punima on the 17th of March. There will be evening program. It's on Thursday. We'll have program from 6 to 9 o'clock. There will be Abhishek, there will be Arati, Kirtan and lectures. So you're all welcome. Please come. And there will be also nice prasadam for everyone. So anybody has any questions or comments?
So Prabhuji, you say the Mayapur temple is not ready yet.
It's not ready yet, but they open half. Prabhupada is open. You can go and see Prabhupada there now. But the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Panchatattva outer is not open yet. Very soon they will do it. But you can go and see the temple and you can offer flowers to Prabhupada there.
But they say it's 2023.
Yeah, 23. They said 22, but because of Corona, they could not arrange the funds, so that's why we delayed it. But surely it will come up soon. So Amit Bhai will go there, yes? We'll go there all to see the big temple. Mayapur actually is a very beautiful place. We have now almost like 60-70 country devotees. They made their little embassies. And whenever they come during the festival or Gaur Punima time, they all go there and stay. So you feel this is a very international place. And we have so many devotees coming there from different countries to live there. It's a very nice place to live and very holy place also and very spiritually charming and very peaceful place. So I know there are many devotees, they are building their home there to stay and they want to live their last life in the holy Dham. So it's very nice to be in the Dham, but somebody has to also carry out the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna to stay in the different countries and different cities and preach. So he gave the responsibility, Mahaprabhu gave the responsibility to all the Indians that we should become a devotee, make our life success, and in this way make others' life success. This was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order. So every educated Indian Every noble Indian should take up this Krishna consciousness and preach to others, give it to others. And this is the best charitable activity, highest charitable activity that you can do. Not by opening some schools or college or university, hospitals. These are nice, but the highest charitable work is giving Krishna consciousness to other people. Because you save that person from the birth, death, old age and disease. So what better you can give? Thank you very much. We'll have Prashad. Yes.
How many guest house room over there?
They have almost 200 rooms there right now.
That's it?
Yeah, 200. But there are so many devotees, they have built individual little guest house. That is not counted. But you can also stay there. But generally Iskcon has over 200 rooms. So 250. But some room they made into a office building. That's why they made the use. Any other questions? Thank you all for coming. Hare Krishna. So Shri please come and do the arati, please.
Hare
devotees. And not only that, she's holding every Saturday she's holding a very beautiful program for the Western people. She's training them how to become learned in the science of Krishna consciousness. So we didn't have this for a long time, but now we have. We actually had it like 2-3 years ago, then it stopped. Again in between it started again, then again somebody they had to go somewhere else. So now we have Mangal Arati, she started back. So we're really thankful to her. And let's give a round of applause for her. Hari. Thank you.
Haribo.
Hari Krishna. So 3 times Haribo. 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 Haribo.
Come closer if you like. It's a little bit more intimate, not intimidated, intimate. And as you all know, it's Shivratri. 2 days, I think tomorrow or day after, different places people celebrate different times. So today we're going to try and speak about glory. Oh, thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay. We're going to try and speak about the glories of Lord Shiva and what he teaches about the chant of holy name. But before all of that, let's start by Jai Radha Madhava. Can someone do Mridanga? Is it possible someone can play Mridanga? Jai. Thank you. Whatever it is good. Jai Radha Madhava. Kunjali Hari.
Hare
His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai Vishnupada Ham Sabhai Gacchaya Stotra Sat His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Nam Acharya Shri Thakur ki Prem Se Prabhu Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Nanda Gauri Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, titled Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva, Text 71. I'm just going to read the Sanskrit because you might not be able to see the words. So, Yoga Desham Upasadya Dharayanto Munivrata Samanita Diya Sarva Etadabhya Sadadrita. Translation and Prabhupada Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear princess, in the form of a prayer I have delineated the yoga system of chanting the holy name. All of you should take this important stotra within your mind and promise to keep it in order to become great sages. By acting silently like a great sage and by giving attention, reverence, you should practice this method. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please accept my humble obeisances with the blessing of my seniors. I'll try to say something. Please correct me if I make a mistake. So, I was thinking what to talk about. Everybody here is so learned. So I thought I would talk about something that we feel the influence of all the time. Time. So I wanted to talk about the nature of time and what it does to us in this world. Has anybody ever experienced the effects of time? We were distributing books a few hours ago, and everybody you ask, what's the standard answer? Can anyone guess?
We already have it.
I wish that was the answer. It's not true now, but what is some other, that's a very good answer, but like, what is some other possibilities of what people said?
I don't have time.
Exactly! Nobody has time. But, I always say to men, people saying that, I say, but time has everyone. But we don't see it. Like Prahlad Maharaj says, Kalena sarvatra kabhira ramasa. Kabhira ramasa is very subtle. The movements of time are very subtle. It has everyone within its grip. I still can't remember when I graduated from college and I ended up in this body, I still remember I would run up and pick heavy things and push them up and, stand with a heavy backpack of books and my older devotees would tell me it will pain a little bit now, but in the future the pain won't go away. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But actually time has everyone in this grip. This is something Oppenheimer, famous scientist, he made this comment when he saw the first nuclear reaction. What did he say? He said, time I am destroyer of three worlds. He quoted the Bhagavad Gita. You guys probably know that, right? Kalavasmin lokashayakrit. Krishna says, I am time, destroyer of all the worlds. Everything within our grip is destroyed in the material world. Maybe, I don't know if anyone can think of anything that is not destroyed by the effect of time. Everything, like from your body to your acquisitions. Maybe you can think about the time of Great Depression, 1939, maybe somewhere around that, if I might be right or wrong. The value of money went down so much that it was like worth like toilet paper. You know, people had they had the money, but it had no value. Imagine you have all this money, right? Like you have millions of dollars you save up in the bank. Overnight, there is a war, which is going on right now. The whole thing with Ukraine and Russia is pretty like, although in a sense, these things have been going on all around the world. Has anyone read the news about what's going on in Ukraine, Russia? Anybody here who's read the news? Nobody? Oh, thank you. Thanks. You guys all, you read that? I'm so sorry. This is going on, right? And you may have billions of dollars, but what do you do if the bank you have the money and gets bombed? Your whole life savings become nothing. Time I am the destroyer of three worlds. He says that in the Bhagavad Gita. So, have you ever feared that? Have you ever had that fear in your life? That what would happen to my things with time? When I was little, I could buy a loaf of bread for $5 in India, not here. And now it's like 200 rupees for like one loaf of bread. And actually you're sitting and wondering what happened. But Srila Prabhupada actually explains the artificial nature of the economy in the Bhagavatam. He explains that the money is actually not backed up by any gold. Hence there's inflation all the time. You're just printing paper. You're just printing paper, there's nothing to back it up. So it's destroyed. Infallible soldiers, you know. Your skin, your hair, your legs, your back, your bones, your blood, everything is destroyed. And in the past 2 years, we've seen a tiny virus, so small that you can't see it, destroy multi-trillion-dollar economies. Completely destroyed. Everybody talks about World War I, right? And how many, World War II, and how many people it killed. But did you guys know the Spanish flu after that killed double the people that the World War killed? Not that I'm saying one is worse than the other, but I'm just trying to bring the realities of life. Like we think everything is safe, but time is the destroyer of everything. So this actually ruins everything for us. Any kind of pleasure you want to have, it ruins it. Actually, sometimes, I don't know if you've had the experience, it may apparently seem that what you have done devotionally is also destroyed. Like you might make a nice preparation for Krishna and then you just drop it. Anyone done that before? Make a nice preparation. You've done that? Me too. Your friends. What did you drop?
We were taking it. Remember? We were taking
Oh, she must remember.
and then we dropped it on the street.
So you saw that, right? You spent so long making it, just drop it. Anybody else made something really big and just dropped it and destroyed it? Nobody?
I made yogurt once and
Just splashed it out, right? So much effort. And it feels like, you know, I put in devotional effort and my devotional service is destroyed. Right? Sometimes people give their life to doing something. So they go to a different country, they go to a different place, they put their whole life and energy into building something. And then you can see that the whole preaching project is like finished off. And then you're sitting there thinking, is it all destroyed? All kinds of things happen. And it seems like anything and everything in this world can be destroyed. And what does that cause in our hearts? Can anybody own up to accept what it causes? What's the feeling that it brings up, the destruction of everything? Anybody who's in touch with their feelings can say what it does. Huh? Somebody?
Fear.
Exactly. It brings in a lot of fear. You know, and what does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Prabhupada quoted it a lot. Swalpamapi dasarhamasya trayato mahato bhaya. Even a little bit of progress on this path, trayato mahato bhaya. The greatest kind of fear can be destroyed. But see, we don't have that faith that by following this instruction, my fears will be destroyed. Only an insurance policy will destroy my fears. But actually, Swalpamapi yadas dharmasya, little bit of progress is not destroyed. I want to see if I can read something. Actually, it reminds me, in the Brahma Samhita, we're talking about Lord Shiva. There's a verse, it says, Shiram yatha dadi vikara vishesha yoga yat sanjayate yahi tatha prithagasti hetu yasham buddham. There's a description of Lord Shiva. And in the purport, actually, Prabhupada mentions something, or Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions something very powerful, and I want to read it. It's related to our class today. Just give me a second to bring it up. There's a line in here. Personalities. Okay, yeah, here. The personality of the destructive principle in the form of time. So who? The personality of the destructive principle in the form of time has been identified with that of Shambhu by scriptural evidences that have been adduced in the commentary. So this destructive power of time is related to Lord Shiva, Lord Shambhu. Now, it can leave us very everything's going to be destroyed. It can leave us very feeling a bit of a vacuum in our heart. But in the same Brahma Samhita, towards the end, there is a very beautiful line, and in the verse it says, Nimesha vrajati nahi yatrapi samaya. It says the nature of the spiritual world. Beautiful verse here, where there is eternal existence, describing the spiritual world, where there is eternal existence of transcendental time, who is ever present and is without past or future, hence is not subjected to the quality of passing, even for the space of half a moment. Nimeshargakhaya means half a moment. The time doesn't pass. Time is just a prop in the spiritual reality. But the material world, and I was reading the second canto of the Bhagavatam. Let me see if I still have the verse here. I wanted to read. It's so beautiful. Yeah. I'll just read this. Please try to absorb if you can. In the mundane world, there is always the influence of time, which changes things from one stage to another. And the living entity, originally being avikara or unchangeable, suffers a great deal on account of changes due to the influence of time. Everything you want is changing and you suffer because of it. The changing effects of eternal time are conspicuously absent in the immortal kingdom of God, which should therefore be understood to have no influence of time, and therefore no fear whatsoever. In the material world, so-called happiness is a result of one's own work. One can become a rich man by dint of one's own hard labor, and there are always fear and doubt as to the duration of such acquired happiness. Have you ever felt it? Like, I'm happy right now, when is it going to be destroyed? But in the kingdom of God, no one has to endeavor to attain standard of happiness. Happiness is the nature of the spirit, as stated in the Vedanta Sutras, Anandamaya Vyasya. The spirit is by nature full of happiness. Happiness in the spiritual nature always increases in volume with a new phase of appreciation. There is no question of decreasing the bliss. Such unalloyed spiritual bliss is nowhere to be found within the orbit of the material universe, including the Janaloka planets, or for that matter, Maharloka, Satyaloka, because even Lord Brahma is subject to the laws of fluid actions and the law of birth and death. It is therefore stated here, Durataya, or in other words, spiritual happiness in the eternal kingdom of God cannot be imagined even by great brahmacharis or sannyasis. So, this point that everything in the material world disappears, but in the spiritual world, the happiness is eternal in nature. Now, this is where things get interesting, and I think about it a lot. I think it's in the Bhagavad Sandarbha, it's there. It's the description. It's the Bhagavad Sandarbha, I think. Bhagavad Sandarbha or Tattva Sandarbha, it's there. It's a description that at the time of annihilation, complete annihilation, right? There's how many kinds of annihilations? there's four kinds of annihilation. When there's complete annihilation, that means the entire material creation is destroyed. Right? What happens to all living entities? So sounds very, I know the procedure, merge into the Vishnu. But is it as simple as that? At that time, the fire, for hundreds of years there's fire. For hundreds of years there's flooding. So much, everything is inundated, completely, right? And that would destroy pretty much everything. All your buildings, all your armies, everything is destroyed. Your bodies. And let me tell you, Brahma has been for 51 years. So we living entities are on this planet. That means we've been through at least 51 of those end of Brahma's day annihilations. At least. Right? At least 51 years. Actually, 51 times the number of days in a year. My math's a bit off there. But at least those many annihilations. And it's actually explained in the Laghu Bhagavatam. And that, Atha, Sargo, Visargo are the different topics of the scriptures. At the time of destruction, we all entered. You know with what? Our unfulfilled material desires. They don't leave us. And for thousands of years, we lay comatose in the body of Mahavishnu, right? And then again, when it's time for creation, when he's ready to exhale out, what happens? It describes that the living entity comes forward along with his desires. So can you see material desires, material contamination, how powerful it is? Even the complete annihilation does not destroy it. Time destroys everything, right? We talk about how powerful it is. But lusty desires in the heart, they're so powerful that the complete annihilation doesn't destroy it. Then what destroys it? This is very difficult actually. We are all here, we are all coming to the temple. That doesn't automatically, yes, we are starting the path of devotion, but it doesn't automatically make us a devotee. Because it depends on what you want. It all depends on what you want, and it all depends on what's in your heart. So we have to take, sooner or later, this is telling you that you have to deal with your desires. You, me, everyone can deal with their desires. And so these desires are there, so they come back. And one time Nityananda Prabhu, he had explained this point to me. He said, you keep being born in the same universe till it's time for you to go into the universe where Krishna's pastimes are happening. So you can imagine how many times we've been around, Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, Krishna's pastimes. You're just going through again and again and again. So there is something. Don't think of yourself or myself as just like there's nothing in the heart. My heart is innocent. There's so many songs like, I just have a desire. I just have a simple desire. These desires are not simple. They're more dangerous than cancer. Actually, cancer is not the disease. It's a symptom of the disease. The disease is material desire. And we're suffering from that. Now, what changes this? It's explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Does anyone remember what it says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita? Sadhu Sangha, Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hote. So it is explained that a Lava Matra. Now what is a Lava Matra? Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha, he is hanging out with, devotees. You can brush it out. But Lava Matra, does anyone know what a lava is? No, more specifically.
Taking shelter.
Huh?
Taking shelter.
It's a 1/11th of a second. Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, 1/11th of a second, right? Now, yesterday, I was at the washing machine. Sometimes the washing machine will say 4 on it, and it looks like it's 4 minutes, but it's like 45 minutes, but it says 4. So I went there, it said 2. I said, okay, I'll count to 60. If I count to 60 and it becomes 1 minute, it's a real 2, otherwise it's not. So I started counting, and I'm going 1, 2, tick, 1, 2. I'm just doing this there, like, I'm trying to see, it's like, I reached 45, and I was like, man, this is really long. But, so that's 1 minute, right? I counted to 45 seconds and it stopped after that. But, and I don't know what the math behind it was. But Lava Matra is 1/11th of 1, tick, 1. That's it, 1/11th of that. Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. And it's again in the Bhagavatam, Mahi Yasham Padarajo Abhishekam. Unless you have smeared the dust of the lotus feet of the devotee on your head, Padarajo Abhishekam, you've not done Abhishek with that, you cannot destroy the material desires in the heart. Now what is this that is so special in the Padaraja, in the dust from the lotus feet of the devotee, that can destroy what complete annihilation can destroy? Does it intrigue you? Does it intrigue you? Do you think about it? What is it?
Mercy.
Huh? Yeah, there is mercy, yes. It's intriguing, isn't it? Like, why is it that everything is destroyed and then, but our desires are not destroyed? But by associating with devotees, it is destroyed. So this devotional service, I was going to say, this is where there's a song by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Anyone heard it? Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Premalati Karamula. Very beautiful song. Anyone heard this song before? Must have, yeah? You've heard it, right? What does it mean?
I know the first was, but I forgot the meaning. Because I learned it a long time back.
Okay, so you check it later in the night and then you tell me what the meaning is. Shuddha Bhakta Charanavenu. Dust from the lotus feet of a pure devotee. Bhajan, devotional, bhajan, you're executing your devotional service. Your sadhana, you're chanting, you're reading. And service to the devotees. These three things are the root of devotional service. This is the root of devotional service. So one has to really, like Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, one has to hold on to the service of the devotee. Actually, I can tell you a small story from Ramayana. Has anyone heard about the Ramayana? Yeah. So you know who Lakshman is? Does anyone know? Does anyone know what Lakshman means?
Lakshmana means that.
No. But you know who he is, right?
Who is Ram's brother.
Very nice. So Lakshman means Lakshman, Lakshmi Sampanna. The one who is completely possessed of Lakshmi. So Lakshmi, you hear, what do you think? Wealth. We all like to be completely possessed of Lakshmi, right? But if you see in Lakshman's life, he's completely like living in the forest. Actually, for 14 years, he's not even sleeping. He's just guarding Lord Ram and serving him when he's in the forest with him. So you see in his life, he's living in complete, no money kind of a situation, right? But his name is Lakshman, Lakshmi Sampanna. It's like us Prabhupada says, calling a blind person, Padma Lochana. Your eyes are so beautiful like a lotus, but the person is blind. Right? So Lakshman, why is it called like that? So the Shastra explains that Lakshman is a possessor of the real wealth. And what is the real wealth of a devotee? Are you willing to remember that? Anybody to remember what's the real wealth? Anyone willing? Number one, Krishna. What is number one? Everybody?
Krishna.
Krishna. Number two, Krishna's devotees.
Krishna's devotees.
Number three, service to Krishna. Devotional service. So what is it? Let's try again. Who knows what's the real wealth of a devotee? Number one. Who knows number two?
Krishna's devotee.
Number three.
Serving.
Yay! Everyone's very rich today because we know what our wealth is, right? Someone's giving you little pennies and you're thinking that's wealth, but actually the real wealth is Krishna, Krishna's devotees, and Krishna's devotional service. So we want to accumulate real wealth in our lives. What is the difference between what Ravana... See, Ravana was very rich. He had all the demigods and he had the best insurance policies. He had imprisoned all the demigods. When he would climb onto his throne, he would step on all the planets. All the planets, Rahu, Ketu, Mercury, all of them, they're all just lying, and he's stepping on them as he climbs up to his throne. The material power is like that, Ravana's. He has Rahu hanging upside down facing the wall, so he never looks at him and his family, and he never has anything bad. So you get your Janampatri and all of those things done. But Ravana didn't have to get it done. He just placed the planets where he wanted them for something good to happen to him. He's such a rascal. He had this whole arrangement done. So he saw Lakshmi Devi, he saw Mother Sita, and what did he think? I should have Lakshmi. So he captured Lakshmi. Now Hanumanji, he also saw Lakshmi Devi. And what was his thought? I have to take Lakshmi back to Narayan. I have to take her back to Ram. So this is the difference between a devotee and a materialist. You see Lakshmi, first of all you don't recognize what the real Lakshmi is. Then you see and you want to keep it to yourself. But actually, a devotee sees Lakshmi and wants to bring another name called Lakshmi is Chanchala. Very here, there, everywhere, Chanchal. Like a little child, there was a very sweet kid who was dancing around, just going from everyone's hand and holding everyone's hand. Chanchala, just here, there. Lakshmi Devi is like that. The only place she stays is with Lord Narayan. That's the only place she stays. So devotee is always trying to use everything you have in Krishna's service. So we come to the temple with a particular purpose. And we have to come to the temple with that purpose. Our purpose is that we want to become rich. Some of us have this misconception we go to work to become rich. Right? But actually we are coming to temple to become rich. How do we become rich by coming to the temple? We beg for devotee association. We beg for Krishna's service. Right? And we beg for what? Devotee association, Krishna's service, and what else? Krishna. So it's a very simple point, but just think about it, we actually don't want Krishna. This is a perverted situation. Think about it. Too much Krishna. Now I want to do something for myself. Have you ever felt like that? Is there anybody who's honest enough to accept that they've sometimes felt like, too much Krishna, what about all the things that I have to do? Nobody, huh? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. What is it? What comes up? Yeah, thank you. What comes up? I got this to do. What comes up?
It feels like it's going forever and there's no end to it.
It's going forever and there's no end to it. So
there's no success.
There's no success. Yes. This is a very difficult situation. It's going on forever. There's no success. And what about me? So this is a huge difficulty. Actually, I was doing some math. I really like math, so I often kind of try to do some math. Anyways, so I was doing some math. There is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Does anyone know that? It says, Manushyanam Sahasreshu. Can anyone pull that from the Bhagavad Gita? Huh? Manushyanam Sahasreshu. Darshan is Sri Dhananjaya. And what is the verse? If someone can pull it up, it'd be great. But Manushyanam Sahasreshu. Sahasreshu means thousands, right? Out of thousands of people, Kaschid Asti Dhananjaya. Srila Prabhupada translates it. One out of thousands has some interest in spiritual life. One out of thousands, okay? So just imagine it's 1 on 1,000. Let's make the lower end of it. We're not taking the higher end of the fraction, we're taking the lower end. Everyone follows fractions here, right? 1 in 1,000. Now, then he says, of the thousands, hardly one. So hardly one doesn't mean 1, it means 0.1, 0.11, 0.01, or 0.9, but it doesn't mean 1. But let's assume it means 1. So we're taking the better of the person. Hardly one tries to know me in full. So what is 1 upon 1,000 multiplied by 1 upon 1,000? 1 upon million, right? So what is Krishna saying? Hardly 1 in a million will know me or try to know me. So can you see how rare pure devotees are? This is just someone aspiring to be a devotee. Now, Mahaprabhu says, Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. What to do? He has said it, now we have to do it. What can you do? Your wife says, Prabhu, go and get this from the market. Is it negotiable? It's not negotiable, right? It's totally not. Whether you want it or not, even if it's your most hated vegetable, she says, go get it. You have to go get it. Similarly, Mahaprabhu has said, Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Correct? So we have to go and speak about Krishna to everybody. Now, what is the population of Atlanta? 458,000 or something like that. Maximum 500,000. 1 in a million are interested. It's just 500,000. So when you're going to get half a person who's interested in bhakti, it's very difficult to find someone who's interested. It's even more difficult to find someone who's truly Krishna conscious and is trying to know Krishna. And then on top of it, Krishna has said, and he's so lenient, he says, Lava Matra. So this is very rare, and Lava Matra contact. Even that much contact can change your desires. So can you see how lucky we are that somehow or other, somebody got Prabhupada's books in our life, which is giving us that Lava Matra contact. Our hope is that, hopefully in our homes, we are doing more than a Lava Matra contact with Prabhupada's books, right? So we try to absorb ourselves in these books, read them, have games around them, like just really get into Prabhupada's books. And what happens then? You're having association of your devotee all the time. And you come to the temple, what do? Discuss about what your neighbor is doing? No. You discuss about what you read and how it felt and what it did and what happened in your life and how did you relate it. Whole life becomes different. See, like when I was saying everything is destroyed by time, actually the detail is, and it's in the Bhagavatam, even the results of karma and jnana are destroyed in time. And I found that really interesting. Yoga, results of your yoga, it's not like you start off from where you left off in your last life. You were a yoga teacher this life, you'll be a yoga. No. Karma, yoga, dhyana, jnana, all destroyed. Swalpamapi, only the little bit of progress you make in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Because it uproots the seed of material desire from the heart. It uproots and it fries it out. So the material desire is fried out. You can never take a fried human seed and try to sow it. You won't grow anything. But if it's not fried, you can grow something. So it fries the desire of material desires. And then you're able to actually progress in your devotional service. So it's very important that Mahaprabhu has said, give Krishna to others. That is how we as a temple, we as a community will come together. First we have to carry Krishna in the heart. Giving Krishna to others is not as simple as, here is a book, please take it and give me $10. It's not simple like that. You have to carry Krishna in your heart. You have to be desperate for that, like Krishna, please. Like book distribution or giving out Krishna to others, it's not a chore. It's not something you have to do. Golokera Premadhan, Harinam Sankirtan. It's a Premadhan in the spiritual world. You don't remember you were reading about a spiritual reality that is not influenced by the time? When you're going out and giving books, or when you're reading Prabhupada's books, you will feel that. And I have this very humble prayer, and I'm a nobody, but I have this humble prayer that our whole community comes together in this way. And that, we're trying to organize a monthly Sankirtan festival, like once a month. Once a month we all just go out starting next month and as a community and we give out books to other people. And it's not just giving out books, someone has to make some prasad. Like Shubha Mataji was making cookies and packing them up with little mantra cards, And then somebody else can make little cards, business cards, or something we can give people with Mahamantra on it. And somebody else can get a table cover and a table. And then somebody else can actually drive people. And somebody else can fill out forms so we can get permits to do it. Sankirtan, Prabhupada's last words, towards his last days, he said, what will keep this movement going? And he said, intelligence and organization. Organization and intelligence. Now all of you are so intelligent people. I know most of you are way more intelligent than me. But if we all come together and just try to do this monthly Sankirtan festival, we all go together, we give books, prasad, whatever we can. It will bring us together. Like the most difficult thing to have in this world right now is a feeling of community. Ask your colleagues at work. Everybody will tell you they are missing a community. We can have people, but for us to have community, we need to get into Harinam Sankirtan. We need to get into giving up Krishna to others. Because that is our parampara, that is how we are connected. Otherwise, we can just come here, attend, take a plate, pack it, and leave. But if the difference between a bunch of people coming to the Sunday feast and having a community is the mission consciousness, and our mission is giving Krishna to others. And in order to give Krishna to others, you have to have Krishna to yourself. So really, that's why it said books are the basis. We read about Krishna, we distribute Krishna, we get together, we work together for that. So this is my humble appeal. I can only say that it'd be really nice if some of you want to step forward and just like be involved with it, Don't think that what can I do? Don't let your life go by. Don't let human form of life go by just thinking, what can I do? Ask what can you do. It's pride that prevents us from asking what can I do. This false lamentation of what can I do? It's pride. It's more of ignorance lamentation. Real is like, okay, what can I do? Please tell me. That requires humility. I don't know anything, but can I do something? Yeah, you can. You can clean up after everyone's done. At least that much you can do. Everybody can do something. And like Vaisheshika Prabhu says, every bit matters, every drop counts. Like every little drop counts. So I really, God Punima is coming, and I really hope and pray that we can all just come together and go out together and just chant and share Krishna. Yes, please.
Mataji, what is this monthly Harinam Sankirtan, and when is it held? Like, is it a particular day or something?
I think we have some managers for like to step up. Monthly Sankirtan festival. We're thinking the last weekend of the month.
Okay.
Saturday or Sunday is not picked yet, but if it's something more convenient. But once a month, everyone can go out together. So anyone who's interested, please tell me, and we can get together and organize things. So much can be done. Thank you for asking. You have something?
I'm trying to ask same thing.
Same thing. Looks like you're interested, huh? And like the little...
We'll join.
Huh?
We'll join.
Oh, Jai! We have 2 people. Haribo! Any
Where do
other...
you go?
Huh?
Where do you go usually?
We're going to start. We generally meet different places. Like there's Little 5 Points, there's Patel Brothers, there's Piedmont Park, there's Georgia State outside there. There's some space. There's lots of places. Depending on the number of people, we can have different amount of teams. If it's 2 people or 20 people, depending on that, we can have different teams, maybe 2 teams, 3 teams. So if all of you sign up, then we'll get permits and set up at different places. It'd be really nice. Maybe you have some suggestions for places. So it's very, very nice. So you want to be helping too?
I want to be good.
Chai? Huh?
I cannot come right now.
No, not right now, Saturday. Krishna.
I cannot commit right now.
No problem, just think about it. The desire, it all starts from the desire. The super soul in the heart will trouble you so much, you'll end up doing it. Anybody else? Anything else? Any comments? Huh?
I'll come once a month.
Haribo! No. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? Prabhu, any reflections from you? Go for us, Prabhu. Any reflections? Any comments? Corrections from you?
Thank you very much for your presentation
That's it.
and your inspiration.
I think it's everybody. Anybody else? Any comments? Everyone's completely accepting of anything? Everything? So, Prabhu, what do we do next? Kirtan? So I have to do Kirtan? Huh? Can I sit and do Kirtan? Okay, I guess we still have to tolerate. So Prabhupada ki jai.
Mangal Arati, Hare Krishna. So today we have our Sunday feast sponsor, Dr. Sanyam and family. Please come and do the minyan.
Jai
Hare Krishna. So you all enjoyed the kirtan? Those who enjoyed the kirtan say Hari Bo! Hari Bo! Hari Bo! So we want to honor our Sunday feast sponsor, Dr. Stanal family. Please come. So they are actually sponsoring Sunday feast to seek the blessings of all the devotees and the deities. So can you pray for them with the help of the Lord Prasadam? So let's raise our hand and pray for this wonderful family. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Dr. Sanal family, they have been sponsoring Sunday feast for many, many years. And they do a lot of service to the temple for the different festivals and festivities. So we're really thankful. The temple is really thankful to this wonderful family.
Haribo! Haribo! Haribo!
This is the pastimes of Lord Damodar. Very soon. So if you want to grab these books, you can go outside and on the table there is many of these available. Damodar month is coming very soon.
Haribo!
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you. You want to say something?
Thank you for
Hare
the
Krishna.
blessing.
Okay, say that.
Yeah. So I like to pray for all devotees who blessing us.
Hare Krishna. So we have one or two announcements. On the 17th March, we have Punima festival, which is holy festival. You know. So Punima, this festival is generally observed throughout India and also Iskcon all around the world. people are going to observing Gaur Punima. So in Atlanta, we've been observing Gaur Punima festival for many, many years. So this year, because the temple is open, so we're going to have a very big festival. So we want all of you to come. This is on the 17th March on Thursday, so you can pencil the date on your calendar so that you can keep the time. Generally the program will have throughout the day, there will be some programs, but there will be Arati available if you come during the day. And also from 6 to 9 there will be program going on. There will be Abhishek at 6 o'clock for the pujaris, and Kirtan also. And then followed by the Abhishek for the all people. You all get a chance to bathe the Lord. And then there will be followed by class, bhoga offering, prasadam. So, according to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came like over 500 years. And there are two reasons why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come. He has come. One is called Gauna reason, one is the external reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's coming, and one is called the internal reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's coming. The internal reason is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to seek the pleasure which Srimati Radharani gets and to enjoy his own pleasure through the chanting of the holy name and showing by his own example how to perform devotional service. And the external reason is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to establish Juga Dharma. Juga Dharma of this age is what? Sankirtan. We say loudly, Hare Krishna. So this Juga Dharma he came to establish. Every Juga, in Satya Juga, Treta Juga, Dapur Juga, Kali Juga. So this is Kali Juga. The duration of Kali Juga is 430,000 years, 32,000 years. So far we have passed over 5,000, some 37 years or something. So we still have a long time to go, but we are very fortunate that we are here during the era of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most merciful incarnation of Krishna. So in his birthday we observe, we fast until the sunset, and then after that we take prasadam and all that. But generally devotees, those who are dedicated devotees, those who are really strongly want to follow, you can follow Ekadashi, or you can take Anukalpa Prasad, means no grains and beans. But if somebody wants to take other things, you are fine, but try to, if you can follow observation of fasting up to the moon, up to the sunset, this will be very nice. Generally Prabhupada recommended that Janmashtami and Gaur Punima, these 2 days, at least devotees should fast until sunset, and for the Janmashtami you should fast until 12 o'clock midnight. So if somebody can fast this night, but throughout the day there are many services available for everyone. And as you know, any festival to accommodate, we need men, we need a little money, and we need all sorts of devotees' help. So we have some areas where it's not, still there is a gap, it's not been fulfilled. So we need, generally during the Gaur Punima, we put a very beautiful flower garland for the deities. So if somebody wants to do some seva for deity garlands, you can come and see me. Or you can see Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, or you can see Mangal Arati. So if you want to do any seva, like you can sponsor a garland. Generally we ask for $900 for the garland for all 3 deities. And also we offer new dress to the deities on the Gaur Punima day. So 2 deity days are already sponsored, but the Jagannath dress is still not sponsored, so you can do some seva on that also. And also we need a prasadam sponsor, because we'll be feeding almost 300 people through the day and the night. So if somebody wants to do some prasadam seva for the devotees, you are most welcome. And also Gaur Punima we're going to have Abhishek, very big Abhishek. So if you want to help on that also, you can also help. So these are the seva available. There will be a lot of cut-up things. If you want to come and do some seva during the daytime or in the evening, please come and see us and we'll help you in this. So thank you. Now we'll have a final darshan and the prasadam will be served inside. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So there is anyone who wants to do some seva, you can raise your hand for deity dress or garland or for Abhishek. somebody is doing seva. If you are feeling shy, you can come and see me or you can see Mangal Arati. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.